Hey yo everybody, it's Johnny5 Alive here, and welcome back to another episode of Project PlanCo. Good googly moogly. So a while ago we did a contest for the World's Fair. 1, 2, 3, 4 plots, and we're currently running the contest for the back 4. It is time we finally place those. I will bring up some graphs on screen here to show you guys the actual graphs of the winners of each of these 4 plots, and you guys can see the contest results. Brought to you by Zafor. Zafor made the wonderful graphs. So here is the graph for our little Italy, and then here's the graph for little France, and here's the graph for our little Japan, and last but not least, here is the graph for China. So Discord already knew who won. I made sure to make sure the announcements for these winners were in Discord, and as mentioned, the winner will be immortalized and placed in the park, and that's what we're doing here today. Now, I am recording this episode before a polishing episode that you guys probably would have seen. I'm doing them out of order. Yeah, so you guys probably would have seen in the previous episode, Batch did all this extra work, which I have not yet recorded. So I get to see that after I make this video here today, because Batch is not ready to do that. But it definitely adds a lot of surrounding charisma, some charm to some of these plot areas. So we're going to just treat this like a bit of a blueprint spotlight, like we've done so far. And our little Italian building winner was Geppetto's Gelateria ice cream shop, created by Crazy Girl Nina. Amazing. Why is it coming in on an angle? Why? Crazy Girl did not build it in the park, and therefore makes it hard to place it perfectly. Well, we're going to go for it. As mentioned, basically just treating this like a spotlight, a blueprint spotlight. And you guys like the setup for the previous blueprints, so we're gonna do that again. Now these are gonna be a little bit trickier to set up. I deleted the purple pad first. I wonder if I regret my life decisions. Maybe I should bring that back. I do regret my life decisions. I could since it's all in one group, I could probably delete it quite easily after, because it's coming in at an angle, because she probably built it somewhere else. It's really hard to line up and make sure it's perfect without this purple pad. Normally I find it easier when the pad is not in our way, but the colors should guide us here. Are we at a straight line? I don't think it's quite straight. I think that's as good as I can get it. Align this wall with the purple wall. Yep. Now, there's all these, like, what we call barriers. The guests cannot pass through them. But if they're underground, I don't know if it still is true. But if they can't pass through them, that means the only place they can walk in and out is here. Like a little funnel, which is curious to me. I didn't notice that when we judged this contest submission, but it should be okay. So if we do the sink behind me thing, it's lined up on the left. Pretty good. Is it lined up on the right? Okay, so I think I can bring it to the right a bit. Can I do object access? Ooh, I can. Okay, it's more lined up on the right and less lined up on the left. Okay, we'll just do a middle ground. Somewhere in between. And how are we on the back? That should be good. All right, moment of truth. Immortalization. Contest winner. I have their name up here on Steam, but not in the Discord. So hopefully this is right. I think it's Crazy with a 4, and then Crazy Girl. I could change that later if that's incorrect, but that's what it is on Steam. Maybe I'll look at the voting form for the next one. All right. Now, number 1, back sign. Don't know what that means. Delete path, -2 red squares inside the build. Why do you want me to delete that? I don't understand. Start path from the green arrows. If I delete that, then I won't have any green arrows. Please raise floor if path shows. Grab grid from path, fill plaza, -3 blue squares behind fountain. Okay, does this make any sense? Am I still trying to adjust to the morning? Replace yellow cylinders with vintage bin 1, color order from this sign. Okay, well, I understood that part. I have no idea what's going on in here. All right, well, I'm just gonna wing it, because I don't know what the heck is happening here. Oh, you know what? Look at this. Why is my width at 10? Look at this. Wait, is it already connected? I think it is. Literally just plopped it down and it's connected. because there was already a pre-existing path here. And then the barriers will make it so that they don't walk through any of this. But then what's this? What does it say here? Fill plaza blue squares behind the fountain. Oh, I see. Okay, I got this. So we're just gonna like fill this in because it's not colored properly. All right. Whoops. That's it. So that's why I can delete that stuff now. Wait, it's attached to the bins. Okay, so we got to do the bins first. Scenery, bin, and we're going for vintage bin, which is this. And they want the color to match that of this sign. This. Okay, so we can copy that, paste it here, and then grab this color and paste it here. Done. Now we just take this and put it here. Any more? One more here. Any more? We're all set. That was easy. Easy, easy peasy. Done. Holy good googly moogly, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. It's in. Crazy girl. Crazy girl. Immortalized. I mean, we already took a very, very, very close look at this during the contest itself way back. But for those who either missed it or haven't seen it in a while, here's another look at it. I mean, the colors are just phenomenal. I was commenting that I loved how this almost looked like a chalkboard where you would write the different specials of the day and stuff like that. We have like these little mopeds, these little scooters all about. This guy's fixing his over here. I mean, everything about this is just absolutely phenomenal. This cracked me up too. I love this. She's just chilling out there. Yeah, this is just phenomenal. Amazing colors. Exquisite interior. Look at the mini ice creams here. You can get the little different ice creams. Animatronic pre-seating, so the guests won't actually sit here. Ooh, I think there was something about raising the floor if the ground was showing. And it is. Come on, one more pixel. There we go. Perfect. Flawless. Went in easy. Looks amazing. Definitely my personal favorite of the Italian part of the contest. Looks great on the backside too. I'm sure Batch will do a little bit of decorating back here at some point. Yeah, absolutely astonishing. We can go up to our little floating head cam now. Because I love doing this. And we can take a picture of it. Boop. There it is. Wow. Look at it from a bird's eye view. It is in. Matches perfectly with our little Italy. That's what it looks like to complete the area. And boy, oh boy, was this contest such a good idea. It really is. Because you have all the plots around it. And while some of these plots were big and juicy, big fat plots, and lots of them have just like extravagant amounts of details, none of them detract from the centerpiece. The centerpiece is the loudest, the proudest. It turned out to be a centerpiece, but it so perfectly goes with everything in this area, bringing it all together, making it super cohesive. Wow. I'm sure now that they're in, Batch will probably want to do some more polishing, like do some planter work here, maybe a couple things on the path. It's pretty open plaza right now. It looks good nonetheless. But knowing Batch, he'll probably want to dress up a few things. But now you can fully walk through Little Italy and experience it. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. The area is complete. And with that being said, we're going to head on over to France now. Walk down the street to France. So let's get to the next one. So our next winner was... for France was Little Paris by Itsem. Absolutely phenomenal build, but this one might actually be a bit trickier to go in. We'll have to see. I don't think it's going to be like a one shot. I could be wrong about that. I mean, it wants to place it, because what I was going to say is, yeah, it wants to place it. This is actually kind of phenomenal. You guys made my life easy, but are there barriers in these walls? That's what I don't know. I don't think there are. Because this is the problem. Let me show you. We're going to cancel this, delete this. See, the whole thing is path. So the only place I can actually place this, like the shop would have to be right here. And it just so happens that Itsem's shop appears to be in that general vicinity. But if there aren't barriers in all of these walls, the guests will just walk through the building. And that to me is somewhat problematic. So I don't know how to do a barrier check without like just looking in the walls. I don't think Itsem included them, but we could probably just add them in. All I really need to do is a giant circle of barriers and then let them pass through the main area here. I mean, I don't really want the guests walking into these benches either. So we could probably do it like Crazy Girl did. Should the guests come in here? Probably not. Should the guests come in here? Probably not. With that being said, it's a straight shot line. Okay, well, I guess Sem made our lives pretty easy, other than the fact I don't think barriers are included. Let me just double check once again. I don't see any poking through, so I'm just gonna have to like wedge a bunch in. See me, hide me, slide it back. No, now it doesn't want to go in. So it's not like perfectly placed. It's off a little bit, but hey, it's just a little off. And I don't think that really matters at all. Not at all. So we can go ahead and place that. Delete that. Add the contest winner name here. Build by Sem. Immortalized into the park. Very, very cool. Now, the see me, hide me sign could probably go. Now, how do I do a perfectly circular barrier? I mean, there's probably like a smart mathematical way to do this, but if Crazy Girl put it in the ground and it worked, we could probably do the same thing here. I might have to like just have it poking up a slight bit. Now, obviously, this is where I want them to go in, but I'm trying to figure out like if I do an angle snap, does that line up with the next one? No. So the angle snap is like 12 degrees. So the reason I want it to poke up just a little bit is because I'm afraid the guests might not interact with it. Like they, if it has to be above the ground a little bit, I think. I could probably do it here so these little nubs don't poke out. But I definitely like, yeah, I'm just going to have to like speedily do this. So I guess it's speed build time. Okay, the barriers are in, and is our shop connected? Wait, what? Maybe I should have checked this first. Okay, I just deleted one and reconnected it. Okay, so the path is set up. There's barriers all the way around the outside, and then barriers going up and down the middle. So the only way the guests can actually come in is here and then out. That's it, as you can see with all these little barriers. So, yeah, I mean, the guests will actually walk around the centerpiece instead of walking through the geometry, and then they'll go up, get their food, come back out. So I think that works just fine. Maybe we'll have to add a couple benches out here. I think Batch has some plans for these little planters and stuff, so maybe we can do like little I guess note to Batch, maybe instead of doing like trees here, these could be little sitting areas. You know, you could do like an umbrella, a little garden, a couple chairs, you know, a bench, and maybe like, yeah, something like this, right? But in these four corners, or yeah, and then there's just little plaza sitting areas for the guests here and there for when they do their shopping. I think that's a good idea. I'll leave it up to Batch for what he wants to do, but it's Sem. You were immortalized with your little Eiffel Tower. I mean, absolutely amazing. It's loud and proud. It's tall. It definitely has centerpiece presence. It has that France feel, the PlanCo French World's Fair look and feel. We have the bakery. The character is also incorporated nicely there. I mean, it hits on all the points. It's absolutely amazing. Let's take a look at France from like a bird's eye view there. I mean, wow. Wow, freaking way. That looks amazing. I mean, from the park entrance, that is a centerpiece, if I say so myself. It's standing loud and proud. I like how we have this little tower here and then this big tower here. We have a big king coaster in the back. Tons of like focal points and sight lines. When you're in the park, you can always figure out where France is from here, and we can head on down through here. And there we have it. Very, very cool. Look at the way that all came together. I absolutely love it. Whew. All right, that one was actually also easy to set up. I actually kind of like the fact that Sem just had that one little shop exactly where the empty spots were. Made it very easy, although I had to add the barriers in. Not the biggest of deals here. Are we still set at 12 p.m.? We are. So we can go up to our little cameraman up here and take a picture. Wow, there it freaking is. all those purple plots are gonna quickly be replaced. It's kind of been like an eyesore of somewhat, seeing these big purple pads everywhere. Now that they're kind of getting filled in, and then probably the video after this will probably know who the winners of these 4 are, and those will probably be placed in, and then I'll have some screenshots of them going clockwise all the way around, be placed in, and then no more purple pads other than this big blob here. We got something going in there that is now finished, so that'll be probably one of the last things that get placed in this area, and the city will be officially completed at that point, and then we get to start doing some purple pads in other areas. So anyways, that's France. Great job, it's Sem. Let's move on to our little Japan. Okay, so next up is our Mr. Unagi's Sushi Shack, created by Rocket Riot. Rocket Riot is the winner of this one and being immortalized into the park here. Now, I don't see any sink me, hide me signs on this guy. Oh, use path grid. Okay, that's not a sink me, hide me. Well, I guess we eyeball it. Can I do world access on this? I can, or object access. It's so funny how handy object access is, and the fact that that doesn't exist in Park Beyond drives me bananas, because everything in Park Beyond that you want to like place, you have to go like diagonal angle, diagonal angle, diagonal angle. Like you have to move things like this. So down right, down left, right. And just to move something down in a straight line, you got to move it this way, this way, this way, this way. You got to zigzag it. When this game just goes boop, use world access, done, or object access, whatever you prefer. I mean, this fits pretty good. Once I delete the purpleness, it should be fine. Like I don't think I need this pixel perfect. It's near pixel perfect at this point. Like whichever way I place it, yeah, it's just a little bit of purple sticking out. Looks good to me, but do I have the height right? That's what I'm wondering. Probably. So there's like some fake grass, but we have a path coming in. See, this is one of the ones where I'm like, do I really want the purple pad here? Let's delete the purple pad and see what happens. Use path grid. Okay. Use path grid. Where's the shop? Let's take a look around at this. So we have a vending machine, 2 bridges. This definitely seems like the one that's going to be the nightmare one to set up. I don't think the guests need to come out here. So they just need to get their food and then come to the bridges. All right. With that being said, might be best for us to start the path here. All right. Then we go select grid. This is always fun to do. Ugh. Oh, why make me suffer? Did I get it? No. Maybe if I do one more. I selected something. That's not right either. I got it. I got it. All right. Well, 1, 2, 3, they're blocked into the shop. Do I need one here? I mean, I guess I could. Yeah, one there. From here, we could pretty much freeform it because it's off the grid anyway. All right. So we're going to deselect grid and just build from here. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to approach this. Yeah, see, it's off. So what we might have to do instead, I might have to come from this side. And we have this like vending machine right here. So if I hook that up, which it should be hooked up now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this path. Oh God. I'm going to make this path float. Do we want the cobblestone? Maybe we'll go colorful cobblestone. So if I make it float, right, then in theory, I could select the grid. I don't even know if that matters. It's kind of what they're asking for. It is off a bit. And let's undo this. Go back to path. Yeah, it's angle snapping. So maybe I turn angle snap off. Go from like a top-down view. Then I can get like a more aligned. I can eyeball that. Now we select the grid. Now I can make a perfectly square path on either side. Deselect that. And then what we do is yeah, look at that. It wants to pop in. That seems wrong. I had the right idea though. I think my bridge placement was too high. So what I need to do here is bring it down. I need to like really eyeball it and line it up, because I think it's best to have this in between. And then I can try to straighten it. I mean, I might not even need to do the whole grid. Yeah, I might not even need to do that. This is very awkward. I'm gonna delete that one there so it doesn't try to snap on me. Then we're gonna force it down. Yeah, see, now this one, it's doing stairs on that side, but not this side. So I might actually have to, like, just force it down. Ooh, that's not right. Ah, magnificent. All right, it's connected on both sides. It looks like a bridge. It has stairs. I like it. I'm happy with that. Although I'm not happy. I was gonna say, I think this feels like it needs to be a wooden bridge, but the wood is like, you know, the black's not bad, actually. I'm not mad at that. Yeah, it goes with like the rooftops there. I'm gonna stick with that. If anyone disagrees, well, we'll make Batch fix it. Okay, so we're gonna just try the same thing over here. And here we go. Hopefully we get this as good on this side. There we go. Always do things faster the second time, right? We're figuring out the logistics of it all. And now we got that. And it goes in easy peasy. Done. Freaking done like dinner. All right. So in theory, well, if I did this all right, we can actually hover our, it's all path. Yeah. And the shop is connected, right? Well, it doesn't look like the shop's connected, but now it is. Okay. Yeah. So the guests can walk straight in, across this bridge. Although I could have matched the cobblestone to this bridge, but I do like the way this black looks. So I'm sticking with that. I mean, it's really not hard to recolor it. You guys saw it. You just put your mouse over it, click it. So they can come in, cross either bridge into the shop, and that's all they need. That's all they need to do. You know what I haven't done? I haven't saved it. Oh my God, imagine if I crashed. Oh, okay. We are saved. Mr. Unagi, Sushi Shack by Rocket Riot. This contest winner sign is in a weird place. We're gonna just bring it over here. Now, I don't know, like, I like the fact that this contest, the sign says contest winner, but we've been changing the name, the wording from contest winner to just the contest winner's name. But I almost feel like there could be a second sign, like, I don't know, let's see. You know, like contest winner and then the name, if that makes sense. I'll let Batch decide. I don't know. But we could emphasize the fact that this was a contest winner, because I feel like now it's sort of lost the fact that it was a contest. But these ones do have confetti, which is cool. All right, Rocket Riot, you have been immortalized into Project PlanCo with your Mr. Unagi sushi koi pond crazy amazing little build with the light pinks in there, the salmon, which is taking inspiration from our character there. It's looking absolutely phenomenal, and all the surrounding area stuff that Batch did here is also really cool. I don't know if I showed this in the speed build, but look at this. We have a shark taco down here and a Simpsons fish. Batch is going around putting little Easter eggs in and stuff. Little koi pond. This is amazing. I really love the way this area turned out. It's freaking fantastic. Let's head up to our little head cam up here and get ourselves another screenshot. One more to go. One more to go. I'm wondering, I'll let Bash decide this, but should we not have a custom bridge here? Like something like this? I don't know. I mean, you could also just go like pathing, grab the colorful cobblestone, and then what is it? Pathed supports? No. Railing. Oh, that's not the right cobblestone. Is there more cobblestone? Oh, yeah, we could. I mean, I'd rather do this for now rather than nothing. And if we want to do something custom, that could be added in later. But I do think that's an improvement overall. Just some railings so you don't fall in the pond, you know? Yeah, I think that's pretty nice. Doesn't really need to go super fancy. But if Batch feels like making a custom bridge, or if somebody does, we can definitely do what we did over here. Over here. I don't know, but I think that's a sufficient enough bridge or railing. So yeah, there that is. Amazing work, Rocket Riot. Let's move on to the very last contest submission. Okay, last but not least, Miss Chow's Dragon Noodle Shop by Zenerex. Oh, downloading missing toolkit items. Oh, speaking of which, Batch mentioned something about this. So me and Batch went back in and we changed all the textures. We figured out exactly how to get the light maps properly on all of the custom characters. They were too bright before. And I guess Batch had asked people to update their blueprints so that it would get the new ones. I'm not entirely sure how that works, but I had to download something, as you saw, from the first and last one. So I'm not sure if France and Heya Sushi actually got updated or not, or if my machine just had not downloaded these ones, but somehow did download the others, because maybe they were used somewhere else in the park already, and that's why it didn't download them. That's my assumption there. I have no idea. I'm curious to know why this is trying to download that. It might be trying to download the old ones. I know, because I guess they got updated. I have no idea, but I'm gonna assume that it's all okay. Worst case scenario, batch will just replace whatever there is there with the new ones. But if they've been updated, the old bright ones should not exist or cannot exist. So I don't really know, but I tried following Batch's instructions properly. He said to download all this stuff and to do things in a certain order, and I did all that. So I don't know what's going on here, and I subscribed to the whole list, so it should already have been in my toolkit items, which is confusing to me, unless there was some additional Thememaker toolkit used in the Italy, and as well as this, that I was not subscribed to, like some lettering, some fonts or something. That's all I can think of. Okay, so after waiting for like 15 minutes, something was clearly wrong with this download. So I canceled it, and then I actually hit resume. Batch was saying to me on Discord here, he's DMing me now, that basically this wasn't updated as asked, or maybe it was and it just hanged, because now it seems to be loading. So, I mean, Miss Chow's there, and it can only be the new one at this point. And then, yeah, so I think we can just go ahead and continue placing this. Bury me. Oh boy, okay, this might be the big doozy, the big setup one. Now, it's quite a tight space. It's also just a really big build. I want to try to line this up as best as possible. And let's do the bury me. Use 4-meter paths. Okay, it's buried. Oh boy, this is crampy. I might actually want to just bring it back, to be honest, just to give more walking space here. I have no idea if that's the right decision to make, because if it's like right up here, it is crampy, super crampy in here. So I think like an executive decision would be to increase the width of this by 1 extra path and just bury it into the mountain a bit more, because it's just a bunch of rocks back here anyways, right? In fact, I would even say like pushing it about here, so that when you come through here, you see Miss CO. Okay, so it wasn't properly downloading the letters? Well, that's something to fix for another day. I'm just gonna place it in, and Batch is probably watching this video, so he could probably assist with, he knows exactly what letters were used, so he could probably assist with getting those back, recovering those. I don't know what else was lost, but you weren't supposed to really use any TMTK other than Miss Chow and these letters. So I could imagine just a few missing letters is the only issue here. So I do think pushing it forward is the right decision. Now we might have to do something with the pathing here, but yeah, I think that's the move. I definitely think that's the move. Okay, we're gonna try to path this. I think I want to go from the shop down. That seems like the most logical thing to do here. And we're gonna turn off the paths. Is there a cobblestone that matches better? That's probably the best one. Probably use angle snap. I would imagine Zenerix would have built this with an angle snap in mind. We don't have many arrows from here to there, so it's probably just one big giant staircase, I would imagine. I probably got to go out one. Okay, maybe I do want to put railings on at some point. Yeah, this looks about right to me. This doesn't seem too hard, so she said. It looks a little off, but doable. Yeah, that's not bad. I'm not mad at it. But what I want to do now is select this grid. And what was the path used here? It's got to be this one, right? I mean, we could just leave that as a... No, I'll fill it. Wait, what? Why is it not connecting? Oh, no. Undo, undo. What's happening here? Deselect grid. Select grid. It's as if, yeah, I want this all to connect. I think the path, yeah, see the path curves at some point and then it slowly starts to separate. So in order to fix that, I think we have to build and meet in the middle. Yeah, that's still connecting and that's where it disconnects. There's a bit of a jank here. Well, what I could do is probably widen the path. Deselect grid, increase the path width, and then, oh, that didn't work. Ah, yeah, there's like a line here, but it is fine. And then there's this like little bit of trim here that Batch can have fun with to make some extra garden work, you know? Do some extra detailing. I like that. Now we have a much thicker path as well. And I can get rid of this. And then our path that meets up here, we can joint it. Oh, now it doesn't want to. Let's try this again. Was this the path I was using? I liked it better when it was the staircase, but it doesn't want to connect from here. That's the bummer. That's the bummer. I don't think I have a choice. I have to do a ramp. Unless Batchy Batch can find a different solution. I probably don't need that one either. Yeah, now the guests can, let's take a look at this. I think this was the right decision to make, to be honest, because now there's like room. This is such a big centerpiece that it would feel so claustrophobic in this area. Now it has more breathing room, and as you come up from this like side alleyway, you have the Miss Chow dragon noodles, which we will find the H, the W, and place those back in. In fact, I should have those. Let me see here. The Maker Toolkit, H. I don't have them. Yeah. Well, I'm sure Batch can help figure that out. I don't know what the letters are. I don't have the link to them. Something I'll just have to fix later. And going back to our paths, I do think having the railings could be helpful in particular areas. Yeah, that's nice. I even like that there. Oh, no, that's fine. All right. Wow. What a centerpiece Xenarix. Absolutely astonishing. Incredible build. Yeah, I'm much happier with pushing this into the mountain, and we could do that anyways. We could afford to do that. And now we could just move the terrain around a little bit, fill it with some rocks, and make it cohesive from one into the other. Much more integrated, more breathing room, little bits of extra space for some polish, some painting, some garden work here to make this a little bit more floral. So that'll come later. Definitely like that. We got the contest winner sign here, so why don't we move that maybe like here, and then we'll put Xenarix's name in here. Xenarix, done. And if anyone was wondering what this push me sign is, we did show this off in the contest, but if you push play here, the dragon goes on fire and heats up the noodles. Very, very cool. Just a nice little added effect there. Looking beautiful at night here. And it's a gigantic stone dragon mountain with the shop at the very tibbity top here. Get your noodles. Little interactive fun area as well. I mean, it's amazing. Now let's take a look at this from the outside perspective. Yeah, look at the little China area now. It definitely needed some height, and that really brought things together. That height there. You get that centerpiece from, further back areas. It looks amazing. Brings the composition together. Like I said, spacing it back there, we were able to do that. I think it was the right decision to make. Creates a little bit of an opening here, so maybe we can add some picnic tables here or something. And yeah. Oh, wow, we have some guests in the park. What? Where did you guys come from? Huh. That's interesting. So let's take, oh my goodness gracious. That is incredible. This looks amazing. That looks amazing. This looks amazing. Oh, they're all so good. It really fleshes out our World's Fair areas. We have completed the areas, and now just a little pointer going forward, or a point to mention, sorry. We had these as plots, right? We built a little Italy with a contest. We built a little France. We built, well, we didn't really build Japan, but it's integrated here as well. It's like an Asia set. So we have all the World's Fair Asia, and we just did two. It's just like one giant combination of Japan and China. So one big kind of area there. But this is more decorative here, and then this was plots. So for the back ones, we don't have a little Mexico. We don't have a little Morocco, Spain, and well, we have a few buildings for Germany. And I think that's why the German plot's slightly smaller, but it's just 3 little plots here. So that's why these plots are so much bigger, because they are going to be much larger mini park contests, which you guys may have or may not have seen the submissions for already. But once they're in, this should definitely all on its own feel like a little Mexico. Same with this and this. What I imagine Batch will do is maybe, as we've seen from what he did here, while some of the other contest submissions were amazing, there were certain aspects like this dragon, like this sushi ball, that were a part of other creators' submissions that we love so much. Even the koi pond and this big tower, just little elements here and there that Batch was like, oh, I'm gonna take that, same with this sign, and incorporate it to the surrounding areas. I think that was very smart of him to do that and added a lot more decoration. And I suspect going forward, we might see that here. So we have the Mexico thing built here, and we have some little mountain spaces up top and around. So my assumption is he might take a few pieces, a few of the characters, and decorate the mountaintops, the little flat spots around here, maybe some of this garden work here, and integrate that a little bit more so that this area is feeling a little bit more Mexico. And we have that same opportunity here. We have a bit of a plaza here, some back areas and surrounding bits there, a little bit of a garden here. So we can integrate some of that Spanish and Morocco style stuff in the surrounding areas, transitioning over. Maybe not so much this one, a little bit harder, but we could probably push some stuff into here, and that should be fine. And then definitely can fit some stuff, extra stuff in here for Germany. So these areas should definitely come more to life as we've seen what Batch has done here. And now that these are actually in, I suspect he's going to want to do a second pass. So if you guys liked the previous video of doing that speed build with Batch, where he's kind of polishing everything, there's likely maybe another one like that coming up in the future here to really bring everything together. And it's really coming out as something special. These centerpieces were phenomenal. The contest was such a brilliant idea. We've done World's Fair contests in the past. I mean, it's a major DLC for Planet Coaster, and it highlights a lot of cultures, and being able to build those sets and build those into little mini parks within our giant park is such a cool way to really Planco-fy and represent all of the pieces that are actually in Planet Coaster. So I think mission accomplished. This actually served the purpose that I thought it would, and these centerpieces and contests submissions turned out way better than I could have ever imagined, but I also kind of assumed they would. I knew you guys would knock it out of the park, and but you went above and beyond, even better than what I could have hoped for. So absolutely amazing. So there it is, guys. That is the 4 contest winners. Before we end things off, we're gonna just take one final screenshot of our 4th submission in there, and look at that. No more purple pads in the front half of the park, which is great to see. Super happy about that. Then we could drop a save, make sure we don't lose this. And because this is a major milestone, I like to save this as Project PlanCo version 1.8, because since that 1.72, this is not a micro change, it is a major change. Because we have contest submissions in, we have stuff being worked on over here, we have stuff being worked on over there, we have something in over here, and many, many more to come. So I think by 2.0 is when all the rides are going to be in, and then we're going to have plots, right? Just like the city had plots, all of these areas are going to have plots. And even though these areas are smaller, we're going to open them all up simultaneously. So there'll be plots here, down here, some over here, basically all around the outside of this city. There's gonna be plots everywhere, wherever we can come up with some special ones. So I would imagine probably 80 to 100 plots will make it in. So just as many that we built in the city, but now you'll get to choose your theme. So once all of the major rides are in and we've gray blocked the plots, 2.0 will start. And that's where we're starting the next phase of the project. And basically, because there's nothing after that other than polish, and all the main rides will be in, when I place that final plot, we'll go straight into a polish, and then the park is done. So we don't have like a bottleneck, right? The bottleneck is being taken care of at the midway point, which is really cool. It's an interesting process for sure. So that's great because we're getting the delays, we're getting the bottlenecks taken care of now. And that means like soon as we have the plots ready to go, Project PlanCo is we're gonna just crank to the finish line. And that's exciting. Super, super exciting. And it takes off a lot of the stress of like, oh, we still have the XYZ to do. And I love that. So in the meantime, Project PlanCo is probably going to slow down to about 1 episode a week instead of 2 because as you can see, we're missing like 6 rides or something, and those got to get in. The park's being passed around to a lot of people. Now that I've placed these in, I'm passing the park back off to somebody else, and from there it's it's out of my hands yet again. So I'm very hands-off approach at this point, but it allows me to get back to doing some coaster and park spotlights, and then when I get this back, it's going to be cranking up the episodes again, and for different themed areas. So wanted to get as much of that information out to you guys as possible because what you might get from us is probably featuring some of these main attractions just to buy time while we wait for the other main attractions to get in, and just show you a little bit of what's going on over there. And that's probably what you guys can expect in the future episodes, as well as of course getting these 4 plots in eventually. And that's everything. All right guys, that's gonna do it for this episode of Project PlanCo. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye now.